Hey, hi, hello, how are you? I'm Pia and today I'm going to be doing a long overdue haul. I have a lot of books with me. Yeah, I don't know. I was doing a lot of retail therapy with book buying and that is why we have books. And if I've showed one of these books in a previous haul, I do apologize. I don't think I did. A lot of these are from used bookstores. I did like a whole used bookstore hunt. Been to a lot of thrift stores. I've been buying stuff on Depop. I had my birthday. And I'm missing a book. So first thing I have here is The Road by Cormac McCarthy, and this is a book I'm reading for my English class this semester, and I really don't know anything about this. I think it's my brother's favorite book. Ooh, and it's post-apocalyptic, which actually has me really excited. We're not reading this till like the end of the semester, so I'm excited for that. Another book for school was Twelfth Night. You saw I read this last month, and by Shakespeare. Then I have Persuasion by Jane Austen. This is another book I just read for class, and stay tuned for my wrap up to hear my thoughts on that one. And then lastly I have here, or the last thing for class, is A Journal of the Plague Year, which we're reading soon, and I really don't know what this is about. I pre-ordered Jennifer Niven's Breathless, my favorite thing in the entire world. I love Jennifer Niven, as most people know, and this book is no different. It actually might be my favorite Jennifer Niven book. I have mixed feelings because it's so darn good. This is about a girl who's dealing with her parents' divorce as she's sent with her mom to a coastal town and she meets this boy. Things happen. Then I have here The Bees, and this is, I think, a light fantasy or I thought it was a magical realism, but I could be wrong, about bees. I don't know if that's metaphorical or literal, so we'll see what happens. I've heard really good things about this book, don't know from who. Then I picked up The Mortalis by Chloe Benjamin. You've seen this in a TBR before and probably in my vlogs. I have not read it yet, but I'm really excited for it. It is about 4 children who learn about how they're gonna die, when they're gonna die, and it's about them living with that information, so I think it's told in 4 different parts, and I'm very excited about this. Then I have here Lillian Duncan, and this is by Donna Jeppart. This is a middle grade that I've been dying to get my hands on. I picked this up from Depop. It's a library copy. This is about a boy with bipolar disorder and a girl who is transgender. That's fantastic representation for middle grade. That's fantastic representation in general, so I'm really excited to read this. I've only read a couple other books about bipolar disorder, so I'll let you know how that representation is. I love middle grades, and I just think this is a really good, diverse one. Then I picked up this book. Do I know anything about it? I got Captive Prince, which is book 1 of the Captive Prince series. You know, I don't know what it's about. I picked it up at a used bookstore, which is when I tend to impulse buy, and I was like, you know what, I've seen this, and like I've seen a lot of people who liked it back in the day. I think it's like trashy, but like I'm excited. Then I picked up I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. So hyped on this book. I actually have the audiobook out from the library and I'm gonna be reading it this month. I forgot to put it on my TBR, but I am so excited. This is about the Golden State Killer, and if you don't know anything about me, I love true crime. Like, I'm a true crime junkie. I think a lot of people can relate to that, and I am just so interested in learning more about this case. I'm so excited. Then I picked up Phantom Limbs by Paula Gardner. Goodness, do I know what this is about. Again, I picked this up at a thrift store and I had heard of it, and I remember it being kind of a tragedy, and I think it's dealing with grief. I love stories about grief. I think it's such an interesting topic and an intricate one that anyone can deal with differently, so I am excited to read more stories about it because I'm morbid. Then I picked up One to Watch. This is a book of the month copy, but I got it from Depop. This is about basically kind of like a bachelorette situation. It's about a plus size influencer who's like, why are there no plus size contestants on this show? And so the show offers her to be one of the contestants, so it's like your typical kind of bachelorette reality show story, and I'm super excited. It's supposed to be really fun, and it's a little bit chunky for a contemporary, which I think is interesting. Yeah, I heard that this is just really fun, and I love a good romance from time to time. And then from a thrift store I picked up Gathering Blue by Lois Lowry. This is the 2nd book in the Giver series. I'm collecting these, especially in these editions, because although I've read them, I read them on audio when I was a kid, and it's one of my favorite series, but I wanted to own them so I can reread them and maybe make a video reading all of them or something like that. And then I also found Sun by Lois Lowry. Same day, different bookstore. This is the 4th book, and I have not read the 4th book. I read all 3, or I read the first 3, and then this one came out a little bit later, and I'm just so excited because Lois Lowry is one of my favorite authors. Does not get talked about enough, but this series is fantastic. And then I picked up This Is How You Lose the Time War by Max Gladstone and Mala Motar. This was so good. I read this already. I read it this month, so yes. This is a novella told from two different POVs. There's blue and red, and it's told in the future where they're basically weaving time, literally, and they're kind of stopping things that are happening and making things happen and just basically trying to have a very like cohesive time pattern and like make it the best that it can be, but they're on opposite kind of sides, kind of like Romeo and Juliet, and it's these two women falling in love through letters they're writing to each other and because they're enemies, and it's so beautiful. And then lastly, for the books that I purchased, I have The Switch by Beth O'Leary. I read this recently. Beth O'Leary is one of my new favorite authors, and this is about a young woman who switches places with her grandma. I really love this book. I gave it 5 stars. I read it a few months ago, so I highly recommend this book. It's fantastic. And then I have some books I got here from friends because it was my birthday. My friends know I like books. For my friend Kat, she got me The Beekeeper of Aleppo. She doesn't know a lot about this book either, but it was one of her mom's favorite books, I think she said, and it actually is blurbed by the woman who wrote The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which I have heard a lot of good things about that book. Oh, and like Time magazine, and like interesting. So I'm imagining this is a historical fiction. Got a bee theme going on. I maybe want to do a readathon where I read, or like a day where I read things that have bee in the title, because I think I have like 3 or 4 books. And then my friend Fabian got me a couple books. First he got me Los Aries, The Giver. I have like a teeny edition of this book, but like I said, I'm trying to like get all these editions because they're, oh my god, I have more books. I forgot. And then I have here Sweet Filthy Boy by Christina Lauren. We had like a conversation about how I am reading romance and how these titles are hilarious, so I read it. And I own it now. And then also the second book, Dirty Rowdy Thing. I lied when those were my last books. I picked up Hazel's Theory of Evolution. I picked this up for my writing for children and young adult class, and I know it's about a girl who basically just like reads encyclopedias. She lives on a farm, she's got little goats, and I think it's about kind of how she is very knowledgeable. Kind of, she's a little more book smart than she is life smart. That's not the word. Then she's like street smart, so I'm really into this, and it's middle grade. I love middle grade. And then I have here Ghost Squad, which by the time this video is up, I should have already read because this is for my project. So I'm reading this for class. I also have heard really good things about it. It's about this girl who lives with the ghosts of her family. One day they start kind of like disappearing, and there's this like evil entity that's hunting them down. So basically she's on a mission to try to stop it with her best friend here and this cat. And it's really good so far. I'm like almost done with it. The last books that I have here should come as no surprise to anyone in the entire world, but I got some Anne of Green Gables books. I don't have a full set of like matching editions. This is still not even a full set, but it's fine. Anne of the Island, which is number 3. I actually own number 4 in this edition. And then we have Anne's House of Dreams, which is number 5. Number 6, which is Anne of Ingleside. I also like love that these are in like literal perfect condition, and I got them at a used bookstore. And then we have Rainbow Valley. Start getting into Rilla's story, and then we have Rilla of Ingleside. So I decided to pick these up when I saw them. I just snatched them up. I was like, you are now mine. As you know, I collect editions of Anne of Green Gables. Whenever I see them, I feel like I need to buy them and own them. And I am planning on doing a readathon with all of the books, or just like, I do need to read all of them. Yeah, I'm really excited. I just need to get the first 2 in these really nice editions because I have so many different editions. All right, I think those are all the books. I don't even want to like acknowledge how many that was. Let's see, 27 books. Pretty big number considering I bought most of them. Guys, my Amazon wish is always below. Yeah, it was just, you know, retail therapy happens every once in a while, and you know what? Yeah, and I'm happy to have all these books. I've actually read like 2 of them, so like that's impressive. Anyways, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't let me buy any more books, guys, or like do like let me know that you love hauls and you want me to do more book hauls, so I will buy more books. Enable me, please. Yes, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of the things, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.